Oh, shit, it's on. What's up, everybody? It's Raginkronic. Talking about Dragon Age. I was actually fortunate enough to go and pick it up at a pawn shop. And I got it for about 15 bucks, which isn't too bad. It's, you know, I'm happy I didn't pay 60 bucks for it. Otherwise, I'd be really fucking mad. But one of the things I like to talk about is just some of my thoughts on it. Like, one of my thoughts is that I thought the cinematics were cool. You know, it's kind of like a movie, but at the same time, it's pretty fucking bad. Simply because this shit goes on almost all the time. So, like, the whole fucking game is pretty much a one big-ass movie, like a click-your-own-adventure, without actually clicking and adventuring. Basically, they send you into, like, sandbox-style freaking little towns and areas, and you come across, like, random encounters, like Final Fantasy, but it's only in maps, which is just really ridiculous right there, because it's 360. You think that they would try to go for, like, a Skyrim feel, or, you know what I mean? Like, at least Two Worlds tried it. You know what I mean? They fucking failed, but at least they tried. Like, holy crap. So, like, the customization in it is kind of a joke. You can either have a couple weapons. You can either have, like, a short sword, a long sword, or a great sword, or if you're a magic user, you use a fucking staff and spells. But the thing is just having such a limit on, like, all those weapons is just ridiculous. If it's supposed to be a build your own, you know, adventures, so to speak, right? You think there'd be a lot more weapons, like spears and shit, especially just how the combat is. I fucking hate that combat system in there. It's like MMO style where you press the A button and your guy just auto attacks. But the thing is if it's like BioWare, they had games like Jade Empire where, you know, it's the same sort of system, but you're pressing a whole fuck ton of buttons to do combos. So it's more or less like a fighting game, you know what I mean? But oh Jesus, but this fuck of a game, you can press buttons and shit, but you're only doing like feat attacks. Like, if you guys play Dungeons and Dragons or any RPG, there's like power attacks, so you click on it and your guy does like a fucking attack, right? Same sort of deal, just not as well done. The lack of armor also kind of pisses me off, because if you have Dragon Scale, you're pro. You're good to go. Like, nothing will fuck your shit up. But on the other hand, it's a very involving story. You know, you really feel part of it, because it's your character. You make them off by hand. You do every little sculpture, like, you know, fixing their eyes and their nose and everything, which is pretty rad. But one of the things I did was I was unfortunate enough that I thought there would be a different angle going at it if you play as a different race, for instance, because there's some achievements for it. Nope. First I played as a human fighter, and my second playthrough, I couldn't even get through the... I just up and left in the first chapter, because I played as an elf thief, and it's fucking hilarious, because you can pull the race card. You know what I mean? So if people disagree with you, you could be like, oh, well, you just fucking hate me because I'm an elf. You're a racist prick. You know, and then they get all defensive. They're like, no, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that at all. It's cool you're an elf. It's cool. I'm hip with elves. I just like how they deal with that, though. It makes it feel more immersive, I guess you could say. But... oh, man, there's just no replay value, like, whatsoever. Like, none. You beat through the storyline, and then you pretty much know the whole storyline, so there is absolutely no real point of going through that fucking game again. Unless if you're one of the hardcore gamers that wants to get all the achievements and whatnot. Like, I know some people that did that. But the dialogue is just outrageous simply because they're just talking. They talk all the fucking time. And it goes into this cinematic view where it shows your guy's face, and then you chat, and then it shows Buddy's face, and he's like, yeah. And it just keeps doing this back and forth. And it's just really annoying when there's a whole fuck ton of people. And the camera, I don't know why, But this camera decides that it'd be cool to be like moving just all the time when you're talking. And I find that the most distracting thing of all. Like, is it, I don't know, tell me, is it distracting? Is it hard? I don't know. It's weird. One of my favorite characters, though, has to be that fucking, that bull mastiff. That warhound. That thing is fucking badass, man. Fucking mauls people and shit. Oh my god. It's fucking savage. I always have that in my party. And then that gothic chick, I forget her name. She's fucking... Yeah. Yeah. But the character development is pretty awesome in the sense of... like I said, you know, you're customizing your character's face and your backstory, which is, you know, pretty awesome. It's a little bit more like Dungeons and Dragons in that field. Oh, geez. I don't know. It's really hard to kind of talk about it. But the character development is nice. Like, you know, you really learn, like, all the characters' stories and whatnot and where they're coming from and kind of, like, why they're like that. You know what I mean? Like Lilith and what's his face? Darwin, that paladin guy and stuff. Like it's good character development. Like I say that instead of them making a video game, they should have just turned it into a movie. You know, like that would have been a good fucking movie. Like really, it would have been good. But I'd only recommend this game if you're like one of those hardcore role-playing games where, you know, you only like to stick through with just role-playing games, I recommend this to you. But if you're like me where you play lots of games and you have like a certain jadedness to yourself, it's not very much entertainment value. Like you may be able to get some enjoyment out of it, you know, get some achievements and stuff, but other than that, it's not all that extreme. Oh god. And besides that, it goes from like easy, like the game plays its fucking self, to like throwing you over the table and prison raping you. Like it just that quick. Like, you know, you get out of your first prologue and then you go to the next city and then you start fighting all these zombies and then you die. You have to save a lot. And you gotta have a lot of potions. Like altogether though, this game is pretty good. Like it's okay. You know, it's a sleeper hit. You know, easily forgotten, you know, easily put on the shelf to collect dust. Oh god. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for Dragon Age. The final boss fight's pretty awesome. They got the kill cams like Skyrim, which is pretty silly. Just not as well done, like I said. But my few kind of points to it is kind of like, if it's like BioWare and they didn't want to make the Skyrim, they should have it like Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. And if you haven't played that game, you should, because that is a fucking excellent game. Excellent. I played that game so many times when I was a kid. When it first came out, it was just awesome. Just pure awesomeness. Like, that's what every RPG should aspire to, in the sense of involvement and your choices and how they affect everything. And what I mean for the combat for it is, like, you know, it actually looks like they're fighting. Like, you know, like Buddy's swinging his lightsaber, for instance, and Buddy blocks it. You know what I mean? And then he blocks it, and then he does, like, some crazy combo, you know what I mean? And they're just sitting there just always blocking each other. But it looks like a real fight, you know what I mean? But in Dragon Age, it's more like, woof, and then Buddy goes, and then you go, and then he goes, and then you go, and he goes. It's just one big circle jerk. What the fuck, guys? It's Xbox 360. Grow a pair. Well, this is Raginkronic with my little rant. Live on. Game on. Live on.